Hello, everyone, and well, we just got done watching the EA conference. Our panel has grown by one. Andrew joined us during the conference, so say hi, Andrew.
Hello.
Other than that, we have everyone who was here for the pregame show, so to speak. So, let's try to run through all the stuff, or before we do that, what were your overall thoughts on it? Mike, let's start with you. Get your snark
It
out of the
was
way.
a glorious, glorious masterpiece. I would not have changed a thing. 10 out of 10. The best conference we're going to be able to get throughout the entire conference. There should not even be an E3. It's over. It's over.
Okay.
Wow.
But no, in all seriousness, though, it was just about how much as I would expect out of it. That, again, we knew that Anthem was going to be a pretty good showing, and at least there was one other good surprise. But outside that, gosh, it was painful to sit through. Really painful.
Okay. John.
I thought it was what it was. It wasn't great, really. But I mean, when it's just one publisher, I don't think they're ever really great.
Okay. Andrew.
If good is my morning coffee and not good is a big chicken chasing Yarny, I give this conference a Donald Duck rating.
Donald Duck, yeah, that is
I love
the
that
most
scale.
complicated
I love that scale.
You don't want
spectrum
to.
I've ever heard.
You don't want to do Link playing or pissing off the cuckoos, and suddenly you have an army of chickens chasing after you.
Yeah, right?
No, it was fine. I'm a little bummed they didn't do anything
Surprising.
yeah, I was hoping they would come out with something that we weren't ready for, something a little
Yeah.
different, maybe like, a Dead Space or some kind of cool, like maybe an arcade, like sports game, something just a little different to shake things up than what we already knew. Unfortunately, it was kind of what we expected from EA.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
Anthony?
I mean, out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6-ish,
Okay.
I suppose. I mean, the little Star Wars leak or drop they had was pretty interesting. Like that kind of caught some people off guard.
Yeah.
Anthem looks great. I'm not too into Unraveled, but I might check it out and see
Okay.
how it looks. But nothing else really caught my attention. Like Battlefield 5, I'm not that into, and they didn't really show us anything new.
Yeah.
So it's like just above average in my book.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
But
so
Battlefield 5 Battle Royale, man.
right.
Yay! I'm so over the moon
Yeah,
about
that
it.
reminds me. I need to go to make sure to write that one down really fast, so we could keep tabs of how many battle royales get announced this year.
all right. So my thoughts on it. I thought it was decent. Okay. Had a little bit of trouble sitting through some of the parts. Kind of droned a little bit on and on for some of the parts, but I thought it was decent. Overall. Using Andrew's scale, I would give it about the barista at Starbucks burned my coffee espresso. So yeah, that's about what I'd give it. So let's just run through what we got there. So Battlefield 5. We got Battle Royale. We know no season pass, and we know no loot boxes from it. So okay.
And in many innocent houses were sadly killed by tanks during World War II.
I know.
Why doesn't anyone pay attention to that part of history?
Suicide by tank.
I wish
Well, I mean,
the
they're in
trailer
the way, so.
the trailer that they showed off at E3 just now for Battlefield 5, I wish that would have been the reveal trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That would've
wasn't
been-
really a trailer as such, though. So
Yeah. Or just whatever.
I mean,
Yeah. Whatever they did. So
They mentioned vehicles in the VR mode. Is that going to be like tanks?
maybe.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be like if you your own squad and you can like squad up in a tank.
I feel like they were trying to break the Battle Royale thing, but we'll see how they do it. We'll see how
Well,
they do it.
tanks, they can get ambushed pretty easily in like the regular modes. So
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, so what do we think Battlefield Royale is going to look like? Like, what?
could
Do
be
you-
cool.
Do you think we'll actually see
Yeah.
100 people? Or do you think it'll be, like, scaled
No.
down to 50?
I don't know. Like, okay, so we've seen that game when it's that totally accurate Battlegrounds. I don't know if you have seen that really silly game.
Yeah.
That game's got like 40, I think like 30 to 40 people in it.
Okay.
So if that game can get 30 to 40 people, obviously it doesn't look as good and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But if they're able to put that many people on one server, I think EA can at least get to like 60 to 80,
Okay.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Battlefield's always had, at least 64. So
64, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
I would
64.
assume that they could push an extra, 40 on a server nowadays.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you'd
True.
think,
40 is a
right?
decent number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So
Or
yeah,
64 and then put some bots in that nobody knows are bots.
Yeah.
One
Don't
of
do
the
that.
two.
Do that.
that's interesting. And then we're gonna see some more story stuff tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or yeah, tomorrow's Microsoft, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It should
tomorrow's
be.
Microsoft, tomorrow morning.
Joyous.
hmm
Yeah, and so
Oh,
we'll
wow.
see war story stuff from that tomorrow, which is the returning like single player style that Battlefield is adopting. We didn't see anything from Grand Operations,
Mm.
which I thought was interesting because like operations were one of my favorite things about Battlefield 1.
Yeah. I like those
As
a lot.
in war stories, or
No, so it's like the operations were like these multi-day in-game multi-day events in Battlefield
okay.
1 that did like battles
Yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Mm.
So
So you had like the invading people, and if they won the match, then they moved on to the next
yes,
area,
exactly. Yeah.
and you try to like get to the end and be,
Yeah.
Mm.
Do the operation in real life type thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, at the end of it, there's a little narrative, be like, well, so it's like if the side that won was historically accurate, it's like, well, this happened in real life type thing. But if the side that won wasn't historically accurate, they said it's like one could only speculate what would have happened if this happened type. Yeah. So, all right, and then after Battlefield 5, I believe it went on to the sports segment, right?
Well, the first one of many, which
Okay.
was, I believe, FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was FIFA.
So just some FIFA stuff. Anyone have any thoughts on that one? Just FIFA.
I enjoyed the interview with the trophy. It was a magical interview.
Okay.
It's cool they got the World Cup stuff.
Yeah, yeah, the free update to the World Cup instead of Andrew. You mentioned didn't they do like a separate game for it or?
Yeah, I remember last time I bought a FIFA game, which was years ago, was
Oh yeah, that's right.
was for the World Cup, and
Yeah,
was
FIFA
a-
World Cup.
yeah, it was a separate game
Mm.
than the regular FIFA that year,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is
think
weird,
it's-
I think, but I don't really know.
I think it's just a separate like mode like now.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's what I was saying. That's cool that you don't have to buy two games in 1 year if you're really into soccer. You can just buy the one, get the World Cup included with it,
Mm.
hmm
which is
And
nice.
it's free this weekend if anybody cares.
Free weekend.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
And then we got some Madden stuff there. NBA
Yeah.
Live 2K19.
NBA Live. Did
Yeah.
NBA Live 18 come out? Was that a game that exists?
I think it did. I'm not sure.
Yes.
I think last year they did the what was it like? You could choose to either be like a street baller or an actual professional or whatever that game mode was, the one or something.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
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 Okay, because I know they've really struggled with their NBA Live series.
hmm
It hasn't been very good.
In comparison to
It's
other
like the NBA
series.
2K whatever series trying to outcompeted it for a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2K has kind of been the star in the NBA games.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get together a little bit better.
Yeah.
We'll see. I hate the stories in 2K, so if they can come up with like a little better story with the my player, that'd be good.
That'd be
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. And then Madden. Only thing I have to say about that is that it's coming to PC.
Oh,
Uh,
that's interesting. I guess
Yeah. Madden
Let's-
NFL coming to PC. Woo, I guess. I don't.
they're trying to
Yeah.
push
New.
like esports a little bit more, like more competitive people on the PC. Maybe we'll get into it.
Yeah, and I think they're also it's like they're really trying to push like every EA game onto every platform that they can type thing, which I think
Yeah.
is good to see.
including mobile.
Yeah.
I don't know how open like EA is with mods, but do you think people will be able to like mod Madden?
No, EA is very closed with mods.
Okay.
This whole thing, especially with the Frostbite engine too,
Yeah,
they
true.
hate people being able to modify it. That was the whole thing when Battlefield Hardline came out. It would have been like, well, if you guys let us mod Frostbite, then this would be a mod for Battlefield 4 in like the first month or so. So
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. And then okay, so past that, past the little sports segment, we had the indie segment, which I thought was cool again to see. So instead of A Way Out, last year we got two games actually. We got Unravel 2, which
Yep.
I was pleasantly surprised by.
Yep.
Yeah,
I would
it's
probably
like-
say that was the only legit surprise we got out of the whole show, honestly. The
Well,
idea that
yeah.
it was not only announced, but also announced to come out today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only legit shock that EA got out of me this whole show.
Okay. But yeah, no, that looked really fun actually.
Yeah, the first one I know, like we were talking about it on stream a little bit. Anthony played it. He said it was not great. I don't think it was necessarily received super well.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed, and then I think when Amber was with us, she put me onto it, and then I played it for like 2 hours and couldn't even get past the first level
Nice.
Huh.
Nice.
because like
Right.
you jump into it, and it's like, well, what do you do, kind of thing. Even though it's a side scrolling and it's pretty simple, they didn't really explain like controls and whatnot and how to do different things. So yeah.
I imagine it controls like your normal indie platformer type thing.
Yeah. There was something where I got stuck between a log and I couldn't get up over the other side or
Okay.
something, and I was like an hour in, and I'm like, nah, I can't be bothered doing this. I'll log in.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
yeah,
And then we
Um,
got. Oh no, keep going.
Unravel 2 is. I would probably go and have a look at it and check
Sure.
it out and see if it's improved from the first one. Not that the first one was a bad game, but yeah.
bit of a weird sequel, but oh well.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's cool they've got co-op in it.
That's
Yeah,
pretty.
that looks interesting.
Yeah.
That was pretty brutal at the opening. Like, what's with all these indie platformers having brutal openings? Like, it just like I got reminiscent of like Ori and the Blind Forest, where it's like you die in the first 5 minutes of the game, and it's like all sad and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh well, this dude literally got his entrails strung out across the ocean. Okay, this poor little thing.
Great way to start a sequel.
Yeah, and then after Unravel 2, we got what is
Unravel
it?
2 is actually up on PlayStation Store now.
It's up on Origin. I just checked.
Yeah, it's $20. That's not terrible.
That's it. Okay.
It's a good
We
price.
got-
for
Yeah,
that.
that's a great price. Okay.
Mm.
And then we got what was it? Sea of Loneliness? Is that what it was called?
Sea of
SOS.
Solitude.
Sea of
Solitude.
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 Okay.
Yeah, SOS.
Yeah, so
I
Okay.
know that song is just stuck in my mind. I played too much Guitar Hero back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may be playing it. I'm not.
I got some very Life is Strange vibes from it.
So
Yeah.
the art style.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was the art style, but okay, it's very.
Oh, that's what you meant by Tokyo Ghoul about Unravel. Now I get it.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Okay, sorry. Well, no, I was looking up to see what the scores were for the first Unravel, and then when I typed it in, it was like, oh, that's the opening number.
Yeah.
Opening. Okay.
Oh, okay. This is something. Sorry to side note. This popped up. So that EA Origin Access, the Premiere stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they mentioned that too beforehand. That's right.
Yeah, and I actually just saw the price, and it looks like. Hold on, where I lost it. It's $100 a year, so not
That's
that
it.
bad.
Whoa.
Oh, that's not
okay.
bad.
That's really reasonable, actually. That's a lot.
Mhm.
I
Well,
called it 50.
Yeah, less than
and I was-
$10 a month, I guess. So.
Okay. Wow. So like during the conference, I made the comment. It was like as he was first going through, it's like, is this like the Nvidia thing or whatever, where you stream a game to whatever device and it kind of like you don't need the greatest hardware to do it type thing? But no, this is completely different. This is effectively
Download the game.
like this is like effectively Netflix for a game type thing for a game.
So
Well, I mean, I did make the comparison to the Game Pass of Microsoft during that time, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they want to go ahead and try to get in on that action too. So, and and then if it works, all the more power to EA there, since that's kind of the way that they're trying to go right now.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting.
And
Yeah.
they're sticking with their whole games as a service motto that they came out with like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
That's
I think
what they want to do.
I think
They're doing
it's
that with
like-
Dragon Age and whatnot.
this streaming thing makes a lot of sense, considering that they understand that the fan base doesn't want the whole season pass stuff anymore. They don't want the loot boxes anymore. They still need a way to perpetually make money from games. It's like it's all a strategy to try and get you to pay over $60 over the course of a lifetime
Yeah.
of a game. So
Yeah.
it's like this is the way you do it. It's like this is the way they do it. It's literally it's like they really took the games as a service idea and just completely ran with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and EA has a nice backlog of games,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, that they could throw up there that'd be worth playing.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
even Yeah, go on.
for PC, like they can go mental. They can put everything on it that they've ever released. But they could even do that with Xbox because they do original Xbox and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got a pretty good catalog to work with.
And then
I mean, EA's been around since like the very beginning of video games, pretty
The
much. So
early 90s.
Don't know if
Yeah.
they could go as far as Super NES, but no, yeah, definitely a pretty big lineup of
Yeah.
games that
I mean-
EA has to their name. So
They could do like a collection, like a Sega, like what Sega does with their Sega whatever it is collection. They could, yeah, it's probably like a work in progress kind of thing that they would have to do, and it'd probably take them a couple of years to do. But that'd be a cool thing that they could do with it.
yeah,
I'll check out the free week or the free trial
Yep.
yeah,
this weekend just to see what's going on.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
also you can do
I'll flip
15 bucks a
coin on it.
month as well. So if you just want to do a month, check it out. It's only 15 bucks.
Okay, that's not bad.
it's
Wow.
about the same as Game Pass. So no, yeah, like I said, that EA could be able to figure out how to make it work while not making it feel like they're cheating the customer out. Then I'll go ahead and give EA some kudo points there.
$15 a month makes that $100 a year look real nice.
Yeah, it does.
So
Yeah.
you're saving $80.
I
Yeah,
think
it's-
I think the entire idea is like they'll get you to pay like the 2 or 3 months worth of it to see how you like it, and then you'll just say screw it, I'll do 100 for a year. I like it.
Yeah, that's kind of a steep bit of it's like, well, I mean, compared to like
Game
Pass. Game Pass or Gold or any of that kind of stuff, it's pretty steep for monthly.
Well, when you think about it, Netflix is like 12 bucks a month. So I mean,
Yeah.
How much is that per year though?
Taylor, you said so it's not, you're not downloading them directly to your PC, but you're streaming it.
No. It was hard to. So it
I
was
couldn't
hard,
find that information. I was
it was
trying to
really
look.
hard to gauge what he was like, how he was describing it, type thing. So Nvidia launched a similar service where instead of downloading, and it flopped, by the way, like it's a really bad service, it's not implemented well, where it's like it basically streams. It's like, you know how like Steam has like in-home sharing or whatever, or with like the Steam Link or whatever. Nvidia basically launched a service like that where they basically the game is being played on one of their like own servers type thing, like it's being computed and everything on their own server, and then it's being streamed to you to play and whatnot.
Yep.
And I kind of thought that's what he was going for at first. And I was like, oh, Nvidia tried this and it flopped. But from what it sounds like, I'm going to bring up, do you guys remember Gamefly at all?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Unfortunately,
Okay. Hey, that was the shit,
Hey,
man. That was
GameFly's
no.
still around.
Are
the
they?
only reason why I say unfortunately is that I never got the chance to actually try out the service.
Oh, okay.
Because from what I heard from my friends, that you go to put down like 5-10 games that you want to play,
Yeah.
and you usually get 8, 9, and 10 because 1 through 7's already been taken, and you're not going to get that anytime soon.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
I think GameFly's still around though, isn't it?
Okay. But anyway, so Gamefly
If it
had
is,
it's
don't
like,
know.
the way that I think the EA Access thing works is that it might be a sort of temporary download, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, we certainly know EA has the security with their, like, the security implementation of their files to be able to lock modification behind it. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a download and that like you can keep playing as long as it, you know, or they might lock
Yeah.
it behind, oh, you always have to be online or what have you, type thing,
Well,
verify,
they
active.
could do like a Utomic situation where you just download like 200 meg of the game, and then the rest of it is done through the app,
Yeah.
basically.
Sure.
And like I played quite a bit of stuff off that. I don't have it anymore, but never ran into any problems with it. Nothing ever crashed. There was no
Okay.
delay,
Yeah.
and it all seemed to work properly. Like, you need an internet connection to
Yeah.
do it, but there was never any issues with it. So it's something that could easily
Okay.
be done.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
Gamefly had a very similar service to what EA did for the PC,
Yeah,
or with the whole EA Access thing or whatever. So,
yeah.
okay.
So they have Origins Access, right? That's a thing that's been existed for this Origins Access thing.
Yeah, and this
And-
news thing is Premiere. It's like Origin
Okay.
Access Premiere.
Have you guys tried the Origin
Okay.
Access thing at all before?
Yeah, I think I'm subscribed to it
Yep.
actually.
Okay, yeah, it's like $5 a month, and you can just play, or $30 a year, and you can play a bunch of EA games and stuff.
Yeah, I think
Seems
I'm
like
I
subscribed
tried
to it.
that on the Xbox.
Okay, so all right, yeah, that
That
seems
was
all right.
EA Access, though, not Origins Access.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Origin Access. It's
We're kind of
only on
PC centric
PC.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're PC
Yeah,
centric
yeah.
here.
PC is different, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, Premiere service looks interesting. I'll probably give it a try just to see how the system works and everything and what it really is all about.
Yep.
All right, and then
Back to
Vince,
Sea of Solitude.
I I think. Does anyone have anything they really want to talk about it? It's just like
I mean, we don't even know anything. We saw a little bit of that stuff, and it just looks interesting, like visually, but like
Yeah,
who
it's
knows
very-
what you do.
it's very
It
strange.
was like what I said on the stream that this is the most colorful horror game that I've ever seen. So, I mean, mind you, that when you have so many games that are either grayed out, browned out, blacked out, or what have you, that this was actually quite colorful for all things considered. So,
yeah.
I mean, mind you, that I
Yeah.
definitely want to know more details, but until I do, that I'll just put it down as an interested, but probably not going to grab it.
Okay. And then let's see. Vince and Pella talked a little bit about Respawn Star Wars game.
Yep.
We have no idea what
Or-
the whole It's
yeah.
Visceral Star Wars game is, but we know Respawn is working on their own.
Yeah.
So we'll see more of that in next year's E3.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Yeah, we definitely
maybe.
will.
All that we know is that you get to play as a Jedi and you get to use a lightsaber.
Yeah. It's kind of got like a Jedi Outcast vibe from it almost, from how I was
it's
describing it.
Sort of sounds.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is.
Yeah. All right. And then what else did we get? The Command and Conquer stuff. It's like you guys heard me on the stream. I was losing it when they brought out Nathanius and Control. Two really big names in the StarCraft scene and everything.
Mhm.
They've both been around for a while in that scene. So yeah, I think that they got the perfect people to show off an RTS game on the phone.
Yeah.
It seems a little shallow, but I'm
Yeah.
not a big
It does a
RTS
bit.
guy, so I guess we'll see if it has some legs.
It definitely is, and it's like I think it was important. It's like I think that's what they're going for. It's like they wanted a really casual mobile RTS that it's like mobile game, and we see this a little bit with the Switch also. I think in the sense of the games that work the best on the Switch, like portable, are ones that you can play on like 15 for like little 5 or like 15-minute intervals type thing.
Yeah.
I just like because like you even do that with Zelda, Breath of the Wild too. It's like you can go to a shrine or whatever. You have like 10 minutes or so, and then just
Yeah.
do
I
that.
mean-
It's like whatever. And so it's like I think they're really trying to refine, not like these multi-day endeavors like I guess Clash of Clans is or whatever. They're trying to shorten it, just be like little tidbits that you can play.
Little
Wha-
battles.
Yeah, like for
Yeah.
like 5 or 10 minutes while you're on the train or whatever, right? So it's like
Gonna get that Clash Royale
But-
kind of vibe.
yeah,
It's kind of, I mean, they've already got games like that, kind of, I suppose. Like I was playing one 2 days ago. I can't remember what it was called. I'm a great mobile gamer, and it's like that's all well and good. Make it short and 5-minute battles and whatnot, but give it a little bit of depth, so then people can actually, like, for ones who want to actually get in and like solidly play it. I suppose they need to cater for both parties, not just one.
well, I think there is a lot of depth to it actually. We saw quite a variety of units, and I think the biggest thing is positioning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end, I was wondering why he wasn't trying to put his units on the spot where you're supposed to go to be able to prevent the giant missile from obliterating.
Yeah.
But again, maybe there was something I didn't see, but more or less, though, yeah, positioning is going to be a definite must in that game.
Yeah, and I think it was also important that we got to see In Control like playing it also, because you got an idea for what like the APM required to play this game is, and it's like it was nothing unreasonable. Like pretty much anyone
Right.
could probably do it. Yeah,
And
So-
the better man did win.
yeah, I did. Yeah, it's like wow. It's like of course the StarCraft player wins against a mobile RTS professional. I guess I don't know. I've never heard
As
of
it should be.
It was rigged.
Oh, man.
Probably, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
They
DBH.
really weren't even playing it.
It was a little bit hard to see the exact details of the phone screen, but maybe I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Well, you had 2 ways to look at the screen, so.
Yeah, true.
How do we know that was his hands?
Oh god.
True.
You zoom out, it's just some fat developer in the back pretending to be him.
All right, and then Battlefront 2. Wow, they're really trying to still make that work.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Quit trying to make Battlefront 2 a thing, EA. It's never going to be a thing.
they know they have all this Star Wars stuff, right?
yeah,
And they don't have anything ready from anywhere else.
yeah,
So they got to put what they already have ready. It's this Battlefront 2.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
we'll
feel-
probably see Battlefront 2's life cycle extend until Respawn Star Wars game hits,
I think so. I think
At
Yeah,
least,
probably,
yeah.
Another year.
which
I
means
don't
we got
think
like another year and a half of it.
I don't think it's
Or
so
if anything
long
else,
to-
or if anything else,
so-
or if anything else, they'll probably try to make it last for as long as at least episode 9. Since episode 9 comes out next year, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it
So I
should.
wouldn't be surprised if they try to do one more year of Battlefront 2 just so that they can try to sneak in episode 9 stuff. And then from there, they just decide to pull the plug on Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Got to get those last few characters in there.
Mm-hmm.
The worst part about it was it's like it honestly, like General Grievous, Obi-Wan, Anakin, all should have been in there at launch. Like that
Yeah.
was the worst
Yeah.
part. It's like that needs to be in there at launch. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
Yeah,
and it's cool that they've gone back to the whole Clone Wars era
Mm-hmm.
and introduced all these older characters. But where is Ahsoka? Where is, where's all the other different characters that were in the Clone Wars, like the cartoon one?
Qui-Gon or not?
It's-
I wouldn't mind seeing
Yeah, all
Qui-Gon.
those. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? You're in the Clone Wars. What are
Kiedi
you doing?
Mundi.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you didn't have Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin and General Grievous, then I mean that's also like
What about
Prequel.
Ventress?
prequel trilogy. You might as well,
Yeah.
have had those in at launch, and then if you
Exactly,
wanted to
I
pull
mean-
from the Clone Wars, then you pull from other people.
Okay.
Yeah, and like Anakin and Obi-Wan and Grievous are three main characters, so I don't really understand why they're putting them in this late. and
Oh,
then
also
not
Count
all these
Dooku.
Other...
So Count
Count
Dooku.
Dooku,
Yeah,
well,
Count Dooku's another one. Yeah.
What about Ventress, who's Count Dooku's Padawan?
I think this whole
What about-
update is centric on the Geonosis battle, which will be interesting to see in Frostbite. But like,
I mean,
it's
that's
like
still
they have all. I
episode
think
2.
Just keeping it within the sense of just the movies and not necessarily any kind of spin-offs like the Clone Wars.
then like, but
Not
then like
counting
Grievous shouldn't be in
Solo.
there. Then it's like if it's just
They-
like a Geonosis centered thing, then it's like Grievous wasn't there.
And
Yeah.
well,
Ahsoka was
episode
there.
3, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know.
mind
there's-
you, not many people like to talk about episode 3, but episode 3 is still episode 3, unfortunately.
Well, I know that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying it's like this update is whole Battle of Geonosis thing, right? Then it's like Grievous wasn't in the Battle of Geonosis.
Maybe he was. and
Maybe
just
he
didn't
was.
Show up.
Yeah. But it's not
No,
like
no, I've seen the animated series. The first time was he got outsmarted by a train.
oh yeah, that's
that
right.
sounds about right.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, no.
Train.
So I'm not going to debate
no,
like
if
the.
you-
Guy.
I'm not
If you
going to
wa-
debate
no,
the
no, no, he
Battlefront
was just
timeline.
outsmarted by a train. He didn't get killed by the train. It's just that his
Yeah.
kid got caught on the train and thus got dragged away.
Cool.
Okay.
Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Accurate though. All right, and then past that, did I miss anything? Because I think it was Anthem. Yeah, it's like then we got the.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think I missed
I
anything.
think right after Star Wars, they cut into another sports thing, but we talked about all that.
Well,
Yeah.
that was NBA, and we already talked
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, then then the last thing up was Anthem. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the.
I'm excited for Destiny 3. How about you guys? Kidding, of course.
I think you kind of drove that point a little bit like into the
Too much,
I think
yeah.
you beat the horse is beyond dead on that one. You know, it's
I need to
like
make sure that the horse is so far in the ground that I will be able to see daisies when I pile the dirt on it.
yeah, like I think I don't. There's. It's really hard to describe how I feel about Anthem. Actually, it's like it's not. I think it's very different enough to not be a Destiny clone. Like it
Yeah.
already.
No, it's definitely a thing on its own. The thing is that just for like the first enemies that showed, that it almost immediately reminded me of some of the enemies from Destiny. But thankfully for the gameplay that was shown,
Yeah.
it was definitely did so much more than just that. So no, I feel very good about Anthem as a whole. And I
Okay.
did say that I was comfortable with it.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
it's
will
more
say
of
that.
Yeah.
it's more of like a Titanfall, Evolve, Destiny, Halo-ish remix. Put all those together and you've got Anthem.
Do we know if it's a loot shooter? Like, is there going to be loot dropping a bunch or?
No idea.
You know, that
Well,
stuff?
the only
Yeah.
thing that they did mention was that, they did go literally all their way just so that they could go to point out the whole thing about the monetization.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they got to get in front of that stuff. They kind of blundered it a couple. What is it? Last year with Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got to get in front of this. Is their big game. Hey, we got to talk about this because people are going to bug us about it forever if we don't talk about it now.
Well, no, and I'm glad they did go ahead to address the elephant, thankfully.
Yeah.
That otherwise, if they, went the whole time for Anthem and not mention anything about the monetization, people are only just going to assume the worst.
Well,
Right,
okay,
yeah.
so it's like
Right.
I was a little bit confused with the Anthem monetization. So it's like we know no loot boxes, we know you can still buy stuff, but you'll know exactly what you're getting type thing.
Mhm,
And then it's like there won't be. It's like and it sounded like only cosmetic stuff. So does that mean it's like I don't think they specifically said there would be no like expansion or like season pass type thing for it. So
It did say
Well,
they'd be
you've-
updating with story, so that assuming they're gonna do like DLC drops story.
yeah, exactly.
Well, someone's mentioned Warframe, right?
I did, yeah. It's like
Yeah, so maybe that's that's going to be their approach. Maybe
Okay.
minus the cost of new, Warframes, mind you, not in this case, but maybe that's kind of what their approach is
Mhm.
going to be
Yeah,
for
maybe.
maybe selling stuff, maybe.
Oh, like buying like a new slot so you can have a new mech or something like that.
Well, like like weapons or power ups, appearances.
They
Not
just
to
did
randomize it.
cosmetic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
but
what-
no, if they go ahead and keep the cost stuff just for cosmetics, then I think that Anthem's going to do just fine.
yeah.
That's the main
Yeah.
thing that, and I did say that before, that if they just keep the cosmetics, then, I'll be more than happy with that.
Yeah.
I
and
just don't
it's-
want it to start blending in the gameplay with the costs like other games kind of did
Yeah.
last year.
And Anthem is going to have a really heavy competitor in the Division 2, which we'll probably see later this weekend at the Ubisoft conference. Because
Oh.
Sure.
Division 2 is probably going to launch in March of 2019 based on the investor call that Ubisoft had. And so it's like, so Anthem was originally also scheduled to launch in 2019, but it looks like they pushed it back about a week from its original launch point. So, yeah, it's like you have Division 2 and Anthem, which for all intents and purposes kind of seems like almost a looter shooter type thing to some degree,
Yeah.
is like both launching within a week, or it's like between a week and
Yeah.
a month with each other. So it's gonna be
I-
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say between those two, I would rather play the Division 2 as long as like they cut down on the bullet sponge enemies.
Yeah,
That's just more up my alley than
Okay.
like a sci-fi shooter with, big mech battle suits or whatever. But I think, there's room in the world for both of them.
yeah,
Mm.
there
Yeah.
definitely is.
Well, I mean-
I think it appeals to different audiences. Like
Yeah.
Somewhat,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say that if both games were to come out at the same time, I probably would go ahead and give it to Anthem myself. Because, I would check out the Division 2 for sure, but, what they showed with Anthem for the gameplay, that definitely caught my attention. So definitely want to go check that out once it comes out next year.
I think that's like one thing that's really
Right.
cool is like mobility in Anthem that we saw. You had the ability to fly, place to place, shoot while flying type
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so I think that's a
Yeah.
really good point. I was kind of disappointed that we never really saw anything from the Interceptor. Because that was the one I was.
Yeah.
That's like when they talked about it. That was the one I was most excited to see.
Did they confirm the 4 types previously, or was this the first time that they confirmed all 4?
I think it's the first time they confirmed all 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I did go ahead and just look this one up real fast. So we have the Ranger, which is your all-purpose, jack of all trades javelin.
Yeah, it's like the
Colossus,
soldier
which
from
is
Mass
the
Effect.
Powerhouse, very good at close range.
It's like the
the
Vanguard from Mass
Interceptor.
Effect. Yeah,
Yeah, the Interceptor, which is the fastest or the speediest of the 4.
it's like
And then
Infiltrator
the
maybe,
and then finally the Storm, which is the caster type
and like the Biotic.
javelin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some interesting stuff in there.
Honestly, I'm not too sure which one I would try to go for myself. I would probably want to try to lead towards Colossus maybe, but probably would just go with Ranger for the start.
Yeah, so would I.
and depending on if Interceptor was cool, then maybe that one too.
See, I'm
Not
already
too sure
it's
about
like
Storm.
just based
These are
off
boring.
concept. Just based off concept, I'm leaning towards Interceptor. Just because like it seemed like mobility was power for a lot of it. So if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
the fastest one flying around, then it's okay.
Mm. I'd
Um,
probably go with Ranger, to be honest, because it's like an all-purpose.
yeah.
Can do everything that all the others can, but to a lower degree.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm really in hopes that you get to go ahead and jump between the 4 classes and not necessarily just like oh, you're a Ranger, you're stuck with them until you make a new character slot.
From what I'd imagine is like you'd probably get one of each suit or whatever, and like
Yeah.
you'll be able to get items to upgrade each suit, and then it's up to
Yeah.
you which one you want to bring up bring out type thing. So I think that'd be
That's
cool.
kind of what I would
Depending
figure.
on the mission, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea considering this is going to be they're trying to market it toward like a squad based thing.
Yeah.
So if one time you want to play a ranger or your the tank class, and then hey, I'm really good with the tank class. Okay, let me switch over to my other alt account, my alt suit, which is the sniper or whatever. So
Mhm.
hopefully
Yeah.
they let you switch between, maybe not on the fly, but when you fire the game up at least.
I mean, it'd be cool if you could, even spec those classes even further to like a sniper or like something more stealthy that like could get behind some people, or you have like a close range guy or a machine gun toting, something like that. You could have.
Well, we've seen like Mass Effect. You play one class, and then in that class you can kind of branch off between the sniper version or kind of the more balanced version, or or the Vanguard version that was in your face the entire time. So you definitely have a track record of kind of making sure there are like smaller choices in each of your player character.
Yeah.
Right. I think that would also help keep it from like, I guess, being so narrow focused.
Sure.
Like, we got to have all 4 of these classes, and that's as far as you can go. You can just make it look different.
Yeah, and they also said it's single player, so assuming that like you'll be able to play kind of multiple roles within each class. If you're playing by yourself and you're playing as a tank character, then you're not really, or like a character who's buffing other people, it's not going to be great.
Right.
So hopefully they'll let you kind of fiddle with that a little bit.
You don't want to be the caster and your tank be, dumb AI that's not doing anything very good.
Yeah, hopefully the Storm will have some more better looking skills, because I'm sure they had to show something, but I guess there's a reason why that Storm was probably the least of the 4 that we saw during the presentation today.
Yeah.
They also focus a lot. They talked about story a lot, which is interesting because I don't think anyone's expecting anything like from gameplay story-wise, but because they have such like a track record with the story, the BioWare company does that.
Yeah.
They're really like, hey, we have a story. Don't worry, guys. We have a story. We promise. We're not going to show any of this story yet, but it's there.
Right.
So it's a little concerning.
I can wait on the story for right now. I just hope that I have one by time for lunch.
We got like
for BioWare, that's what that's the selling point of a BioWare game.
For a lot of people, right?
Yeah. I was getting 2 samey vibes of kind of a Mass Effect story, in the sense of like, there's this precursor race or like force or entity type thing. Which, to be fair, it is BioWare, and it's like, yes, they are responsible for Mass Effect, but it's like, it was kind of the same trap that Andromeda fell into also, where it was, well, one of the many traps that Andromeda fell into was, the rehash of this whole like old influencing race type thing, still having ramifications to this day. And so it's like, that's kind of the vibe I got, but we'll see how the story really, really gets fleshed out and whatnot when it does release. And then one other concern I have for Anthem is I hope BioWare does a really good job of fleshing out the world and making their world like seem really expansive, because I almost feel like in a sense of they could limit themselves by not having like planet to planet type stuff. And that was one of the things that's like what made Mass Effect feel like such a big, large world, was because there were so many planets you could go to. Each planet was a bit different in terms of their culture, they could really see and everything. So
my biggest worry is the girl saying that people want more gameplay after the story's done, and with this we can inject more story to where like it kind of, that was a problem with Destiny. I thought was like they never ended. I guess it's just like there's more coming. We promise.
What I got off that is that it's probably going to be written like WoW is written, where it's like there are mechanics in place so that the story never really has to end type thing. It's like you'll get these temporary, mildly satisfying conclusions. It's like from story point to story point and everything. But, there's always some looming threat on the horizon that was, implied or whatever that you're going to have to deal with really soon. So
that's what kind of reminded me of Destiny. Like, first, like that, the Storm class as well reminded me of, what are they called? The Wolves?
Warlock.
Destiny?
Yeah, Warlock.
Yeah.
No, like the enemies. What are when you've got, with the DLC, the House of Wolves or whatever it is.
No idea. Never played.
I believe it's something like that.
Nope, never got that expansion.
They kind of reminded me of that. I think from story perspective, like I'm not really someone who plays with other people that much.
Okay.
So I'm kind of going to games wanting a single player experience. So it's good that they're kind of mixing it So they got the multiplayer aspect and the single player aspect. I don't think they can have too much story, to be honest. Although if they do keep doing, DLC, more story after 2 years or whatever, like what Destiny did, then that's a bit overboard. But
Yeah.
they don't. I don't know. I think they're going to release a large chunk of the story initially.
Yeah.
And then they might do a couple of DLCs, but if they cut it off relatively early, they should be alright.
Okay.
Well, I want to add one other quick thing really fast because while hearing everyone talk about Destiny and Anthem, I do want to try to fall back to what I also said earlier for Monster Hunter World because currently right now the game is kind of running into this problem right now for end game content right now to where after you go ahead and reach the end of the game, there's kind of not much left for you, so to speak.
Mhm.
Because outside of the new monsters that get released, there's not really much else because, weekly events maybe, but there's not that much. And part of me kind of feels like that hopefully if Anthem wants to try to expand on stuff, yeah, they could try to do the story too, but like if they have like weekly events for like, hunt down this thing or go here and do this or whatever, that hopefully may be able to get some time to expand out its content as well, hopefully.
Yeah.
That, again, it's kind of hard to say because, I am in that camp that I do want Anthem to, be well received. I want BioWare to be well received. I want them to be able to have a win after, the mess that was Mass Effect Andromeda, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they definitely need a win right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do. All right. So, any concluding thoughts on EA's conference?
Well, I actually have one thing. They didn't actually introduce the playtesting. Because before they actually started the conference, they had this massive banner thing about playtesting and go here and do this and blah blah blah.
Okay.
But they didn't really talk about that.
Elaborate
at all.
on it.
Yeah, they didn't elaborate on it. So it's kind of, I was a bit surprised about that because they're not really explaining what it does and what it's about. So,
Okay.
I mean, they might pair it with a console, I suppose. But yeah.
Well,
All right. So,
yeah, man, we got what we got. I think
Yeah.
it's exciting, but a little bit of we knew it kind of thing.
it's like,
So
it's like
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
it's
only-
good though that EA was kind of first, right? It's gonna build the momentum, hopefully.
Yeah, it's like this
No.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about stuff for tomorrow. So the first thing that we got is the Microsoft press conference tomorrow, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, 30 minutes for that start, there will be a pre-show all of today with
Cool.
a little bit of different guests, and then the commentating during the conference, and then this little post-thing wrap-up. So yeah, I think that
And
about.
immediately after that will be the first episode of our Retro Rumble podcast.
Yep. And then immediately after that will be whichever press conference comes next in the day. I think it's Bethesda. Is it?
Mhm.
Okay.
And that would be it for Sunday.
No.
Since there's only two
No,
conferences, right?
Devolver.
Devolver.
Right, Devolver.
If you want to count that thing, whatever
Press
that thing is.
conference.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm
that
looking-
we're just gonna have to drink a whole lot of beers to be able to fully appreciate that one.
I think so.
I'm looking forward to that one. Last year's was real good.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah, it was something. All right. That about wraps up our E3 coverage for today. All we had was EA. Make sure you come back here in like 2 hours for Power Up Podcast.
Hooray!
Hooray! Yeah.
I'm going to be having a sleep between then and now.
Yeah, go ahead. It's okay. Yeah. So,
Pass out,
yeah, we will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.